Vasa lasted 20 minutes. A breeze leaned her over. Water entered the gunports. The king's greatest warship sank. Weeks earlier, the test had exposed her weakness. They sailed anyway. Power heard the warning and buried it. On the 10th of August, 1628, Vasa left Stockholm in the late afternoon with 4 sails set. The wind was light. One gust pushed her to port. She recovered. Near Tagelviken, another gust pressed against the sails. This time the lower gunports reached the water. The crew released the sheets and tried to close the ports. Water crossed the lower deck, adding weight where the ship had already fallen. Roughly 1,300 meters from the start, Vasa disappeared into 32 meters of water. Around 150 to 200 people may have been aboard. The records place the dead between roughly 30 and 50. The exact number is unknown. Vasa was built to project royal power across the Baltic, 69 meters long, more than 50 meters from keel to mainmast top, with a carved stern like a moving palace. She carried 64 cannon, including 48 main 24-pounders. Everything commanded the eye upward: guns, sails, carving, crown. But the part keeping this monument alive was hidden below the water, and it was too small for what stood above it. At departure, Vasa displaced roughly 1,200 to 1,250 tons. Deep in the hold sat 120 tons of stone ballast, reportedly as much as could be placed there in practice. More stone was not a simple cure. It could lower the center of gravity, but it would push the already low ports closer to the sea. The available space was filled. The hull did not provide enough breadth or volume for the structure above it. A stable ship can lean and return. Wind pushes the sails. Buoyancy acting through the immersed hull creates a restoring moment, an answer pushing the vessel upright. Vasa's answer was too weak. Her upperworks were tall and heavily built. Her immersed hull was comparatively small and narrow. Weight acted high. Support acted through too little hull below. Outside shipwrights later described too little belly below and too much weight above. The gust began the heel. Inadequate stability failed to arrest it. Open gunports converted the lean into rapid flooding. Ordinary weather exposed a ship with almost no margin. The guns did not break free and roll across the deck. Witnesses said they were secured. Closed ports might have delayed flooding long enough for Vasa to survive that departure, but they would not have made her stable. A trigger is not the same as a cause. The breeze triggered the heel. The ports admitted the sea. The design left Vasa unable to recover between them. Weeks earlier, Captain Zofring Hansen arranged a simple demonstration. 30 men stood on the upper deck. In Vice Admiral Klas Fleming's presence, they ran from one side to the other. Vasa leaned. They crossed back. She leaned again. Later testimony says each traverse made the movement more alarming. Fleming stopped the test because continuing might capsize the ship at the quay. This was not a modern calculation. It was something harder for a hierarchy to dismiss, a warning everyone present could see. Master Joran Mattsson testified that Fleming said, "If only His Royal Majesty were home." The king was not watching. Gustav II Adolf was with his army in Prussia, but absence does not remove power. The museum describes Fleming under pressure to send the delayed warship to sea. The test stopped. The schedule did not. A warning does not enter an organization as pure information. It enters through rank, expectation, and consequence. No record proves every officer knew Vasa would sink. Several later denied knowing she was dangerously tender. But the test made instability visible to those who organized. witnessed, and stopped it. Power rarely needs to forbid bad news. It only needs to make delay feel more dangerous than failure. The council acted immediately. Captain Sofring was imprisoned. On the 5th of September, a 17-member commission convened an inquest. Only part of its transcript survives. The builders said they had followed Henrik Hybertson's approved specification. Hein Jakobsen testified that he had widened the ship by about 42 centimeters. Outside experts returned to the same diagnosis: too little hull below, too much ship above, too little room for ballast. But Sweden was at war. The ship had Crown approval. Fleming was not questioned. Hybertson had died the year before. No one was officially blamed or punished. The dead designer became a convenient place for responsibility to stop. Those questioned continued their careers. The museum notes later promotions. Vasa remained on the seabed, but she was not completely forgotten. Most bronze guns were recovered in the 1660s. Charts and salvage proposals preserved knowledge of the wreck. Anders Franzén searched systematically and located it convincingly. In 1956, a corer returned black waterlogged oak. Divers found 2 tiers of gunports. 6 tunnels were cut beneath the hull. Cables connected Vasa to lifting pontoons. In 1959, she was freed from the mud and moved underwater through 18 stages. At 9:03 on the 24th of April, 1961, Vasa broke the surface after 333 years. Recovery created another engineering problem. Waterlogged oak could shrink and collapse as it dried. Conservators sprayed Vasa with polyethylene glycol from 1962 to 1979, then dried her gradually. More than 40,000 objects were eventually recovered. The museum says 98% of the displayed ship is original or authentic material, but survival does not mean unchanged. Thousands of old bolts have been replaced. Chemical reactions continue inside weakened timber. The ship deforms under its own weight. A new support system began installation in 2024, with completion intended for 2028. 4 centuries after the running test, Vasa remains a question of how weight is carried and whether support is sufficient. Vasa did not sink because one man made one mistake. Wind, proportions, ballast, open ports, schedule, and command formed a chain. The test revealed the weakness. The voyage revealed the cost. The inquest revealed the system protecting itself. A monument can survive bad engineering for a while. It cannot survive a hierarchy that treats warning as disobedience.